Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today, I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to succeed in nursing school. So my first tip is to get all the necessary nursing supplies. Now, usually nursing schools will send you a list of all the things you'll need, like a stethoscope and a blood pressure cuff, but one really important supply is your calendar. Make sure to get a calendar. In nursing school, there's going to be tons of deadlines, tons of dates you're going to have to remember. So you want to print out your syllabus as soon as possible and implement all those dates into your calendar. Also, you want to include some self-care days into your calendar. That way, when you look at your weeks and you look at your month, it's not so dreadful. You'll actually have things to look forward to. What I used to do is I used to add something fun on really big days. So let's say on December 30th, I had a really big final exam. I would also add in there like, go get ice cream with a friend. That way, December 30th wasn't such a dreadful day and I actually had something to look forward to. Another tip is to watch YouTube videos. Now there's tons of YouTube channels out there that really simplify really complex nursing concepts. I'll leave some of my favorite ones down below, but YouTube is such a great resource for nursing students. Also, in nursing school, you guys are going to have to do some skill testings. You're going to have to learn how to insert a Foley catheter, insert an NG tube, and a bunch of other things. And there's some really good YouTube videos out there that give you step-by-step guides on how to perform these skills. So I'll leave that down below as well. My third tip is to record your lectures. Now, first things first, ask your professor, make sure your school allows you to record the lecture, but if they do, I highly recommend it. This will allow you guys to listen to the lecture on your way home from school, while you're cleaning your room, while you're cooking. It's just going to give you the ability to multitask. Also, when you record the lecture, it allows you to kind of insert any notes that you might have missed while you were in class. My next tip is to make sure to sit in the front of your class. Now, this is great because it's going to make you look studious and prepared. Also, for my people out there that like to be on their phone or really find it hard to concentrate, sitting in front of the class almost forces you to. Nobody wants to be on their phone when their professor's like right there in their face, right? So try to get a front seat in class. Okay. Another tip I have is to record yourself reciting the information that you've learned. Now, you can just use your phone and you can kind of try to teach a lecture of what you've learned. This will let you see what you know, what you don't know, what your strengths and your weaknesses are, and you'll be able to go back and really solidify and understand the concepts that are giving you trouble. My next tip is to use index cards wisely. I remember when I was in school, I used to have millions and millions of index cards, and it really didn't serve me well at all. So what I would recommend is use your index cards solely for information that you need to memorize. So your lab values, your age groups, things like that. Also, I would use my index cards for information that I was having difficulty remembering. So I would write those down and then I would stash the index cards in my bag, and then wherever I would just kind of pull them out and just practice and try to get it really stuck in my head. Another tip I have is to be friendly. Make friends. Nursing school can be so tough, and the only people that really know what you're going through are your classmates. So really be kind, make new friends, and form a study group. And this leads me into my last tip. Work smarter, not harder. Now, when I was in pharmacology class in nursing school, we had a 50 chapter test. 50 chapters. So this was super intimidating, of course, but what I did was me and my friends, we split up the chapter. So for example, I took chapter 1 through 10, another classmate took chapter 11 through 20, another one 21 to 30, and so on and so forth. This cut our study time down in half, and we all combined our study materials and we made one complete study guide. So just make friends, work smarter, not harder, and just do your best. I would say just put your best foot forward. Go to class on time, be visible, be present, get to know your professors, and give it your all. You're going to learn so much information in nursing school, and you're learning material that essentially will help save someone's life one day. So don't take it lightly and really commit yourself. So I want to go through how I would typically study for a nursing school exam. So I would typically try my best to start studying for exam at least 4 to 5 days before the actual exam. And what I would do first is I would take the lecture that I would record, and I would also open up the PowerPoint. And I'll go through the PowerPoint and see if there's anything I missed during class and just fill those in. Now, once my notes are thorough and they're full, I'll just start reading through it, and I'm not necessarily reading through it to memorize. I'm just kind of reading it as if I'm reading a book, and this is just to get the information flowing in my brain. Next, I'll start to make my own study guide. So based on the information that I have in my PowerPoint and my lecture and my notes, I'll make a condensed study guide. Now, as I'm making my study guide, if I find that there's a concept that I'm having difficulty understanding, I'll go to my textbook as a supplemental resource, and I'll learn more about the concept and really try to get a good grasp of what I really need to know. Then I'll use my index cards, and I'll use those for the things I need to memorize. So that's going to be your lab values, your age groups, just really specific information that you have to memorize. Now, once I have my study guide and I have my index cards, I'll get to studying. So I'll just read through it, really get it drilled in my brain, really get the information as locked in as possible. Once I feel comfortable about how much information I know, I'll start recording myself teaching the information. And once I finish recording myself, I'll look back at the footage and I'll see what my strengths are and what I can kind of work on. So the concepts that I can kind of learn more about, I'll go back, study it, really drill it in my brain until I know it as good as I know everything else. So once I feel like I have a really good grasp of the information, I usually like to do practice questions all day. And this is usually going to be the day before the test or maybe 2 days before the test. I will literally spend the entire day doing hundreds and hundreds of practice questions. In nursing school, you cannot just memorize material. You have to learn how to apply the material you learned to real life practice and to multiple choice questions. It's all about critical thinking skills. The best way to develop your critical thinking skills are going to be to do practice questions. You can't avoid it. A really huge tip that I was told in nursing school is to always go by your ABCs. That's going to be your airway, breathing, circulation, and of course, safety. Those are the 4 top priorities. So when you're going through your nursing questions, keep that in mind. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for all the nursing students out there. Good luck. I know you guys are going to rock it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.